All right, guys, it's grand finals time. All right, guys, it's time for the grand finals. Just before we get into it, a huge thanks to Alex and Monk for the 5 gifted subs, dude. Thank you for going above and beyond and supporting us here, casting these amazing pro gamers. Thank you so much for the support. Guys, let's get into it. Up here in the bottom left side of the map, it's Kaiser Gaming Solar. Down here in the bottom left, forced to take the third base because his opponent blocked his expansion. Zest in the top right, you can see here 1 worker off minerals focusing on the gas. Looks like we're going to see a very standard Stargate opening on this map. And I would love to see a Queen Walk on it. However, guys, if we see a Queen Walk on a long map like Hardwire, it's a decent map for a Queen Walk because the third is kind of quite out there. I would expect it to be a Queen, Zergling, Baneling variety. Something which Solar does mix in there occasionally. I've seen DRG and a few other players do it more often than him. Definitely something that's in his wheelhouse. We'll see if that's something that he tries to pull out as he goes for a nice, quick third base. Oh, wow. Okay, very quick third there. Very economic-focused build. Notice here the probe trying to mess up his mining. And already one of those drones gets pulled off, but Solar quickly adjusts, puts him back to mining. And you're going to see no queen in the main. Why, guys? Because it's more important to get your queen out, spreading creep, and injecting from here. Why injecting here? Because you want the drones to pop out next to the minerals. Your main's already full, you don't need more workers there. So it's better to have injects out here. Also, the creep spreading forward from here is more important, as this hatchery is going to basically connect that. Obviously, we'll get another tumor connecting all this in a little while. But if you get one here, you can kind of do a bit of both. Get it mostly connected to the natural and spread it forward at the same time. Second queen does start up in the main base, and that overlord's on the way. The built-in 28 supply block part of this build order. It's a very advanced build order. The super quick third base, something I don't recommend for most players. Most players that try this put themselves behind every game they do it. And that's why for a long time I've gotten annoyed at people doing a super quick third hatch on 18, 19, 20 supply. They've gone, oh, this is what X, so-and-so pro player does. And I go, yeah, but they do it properly. They don't accidentally build the Overlord too early, build the Queens in the wrong base. It's just a way more complicated build. To make it pay off, you really need to pay attention to all those little details. Queen build in the right base. Every little detail has got to stick together, and then you get yourself a little bit of an edge from it. Another planned supply block on 42 here. Zergling's coming in from both sides, but Zest with great micro already kills 2 of those. And, oh, grabs a drone, stray drone in the open. Very nice. Link speed's still about 20 seconds away, but Zest's going to play it careful and fall back for now. He's gone Oracle first, taking a leaf out of Showtime's book and going straight for a second Oracle. I do expect a Void Ray after that, but who knows? Double Oracle can transition into ground pretty smoothly. Such a great scouting unit, very flexible. Comes in here on the third base. Queen on its own can't defend that. A little slow on the drone pull. Solar losing 3 workers. This is sloppy. Solar now down 8 workers in this early game, despite investing in a Spore in the main, a Spore in the third, which finished up just a little too late. He's played a lot of games against Void Ray first, and he's going to be paying a bit of a price for that now. On the other hand, Zest unable to get a third base just yet. It's already 4 minutes 15. He's going double gas on the natural straight away, and that Overlord will see some stuff. Oracle dives in, grabs a drone. That other drone manages to kind of hide in plain sight. Zest doesn't notice it. And the Oracle's going to split off. He gets 2. Oh, that's a kill. That's a kill if he goes down there. But Zest does realize, pulls the Oracle to safety. Now this here is a stasis trap Oracle. Hiding there. Can come in, drop a stasis there, drop a stasis trap there. Later on, hopefully surprise his opponent. 2 Adepts and a Void Ray will move out to take the third base. Solar might loop around here, see if he can intercept that probe. Probe will drop that third base in just a moment, but it's a later third, much quicker second Stargate fleet beacon and 4 gases. This tells me Zest wants to keep up that Void Ray production pretty consistently, and if a Queen Walk comes, he might just overwhelm it with the massive air units. Maybe even doing the reactive Phoenix play if he sees it. For those who don't know, the reactive Phoenix play is where, because Phoenix builds so quickly, after your initial, say, 6 Void Rays, if you realize it's a Queen Walk, you pump out Phoenix, and if you can just, say, get 6 Phoenix, as they arrive at your base, you pick up 6 of the queens, they can't transfuse, and you just start killing them all. If you take the transfuse ability away, suddenly the queen, not so good a unit. So it's a cute little counter to it. Not very common, and pretty unlikely to see it today. 2 carriers getting chrono boosted. Straight up carrier rush, all right. Very interesting to see how that plays out. What does Solar have in store for us? I mean, this just looks like a big old macro play. I'm thinking Spire. That's what this looks like to me, guys. I think we'll see a 4th base and a Spire, both around the same time. And we're going to see Solar look to get a wave of Mutas out by surprise if he can hide that. Spire here is the common spot to do it, because those Oracles are going to scoot around the back. And that's why it would be nice to actually have some Queens on the edge kind of hitting these Oracles. You don't want to let them through your base, seeing everything for free. 2 drones there. Spire does go down. Where is that Spire? 4th base goes down there. Spire behind the natural. Interesting. Okay, so if the Oracles run around the back, they will see it. Carriers themselves are, of course, getting ready. He's being scouted by an Overseer. Great scout by Solar. So he confirms the carrier tech. He knows what he's up against. Forge goes down for Zest. Does Zest change what he's doing? He's already building a lot of gateways. Now, for those who don't know, Zest, when he's playing Skytoss, he builds a lot of gateways. 90% of the time, he never uses them for anything. Occasionally, he's doing the Stalker roll then, is he? No, but he's going to swap into full Blink after this, is he? Or is it just charge Archon transition, maybe? I've seen games where he never gets the Twilight, and he literally plays full Sky Toss and just never uses the gateways, and I'm always sitting there scratching my head going, why did you build 8 gateways? This time it makes more sense. I think this is just going to be swapping into Void Rays. You can see Flux Vein, so 4 carriers. He's going to force Corruptors with those. Void Rays will come out, and then he'll add Zealot Archon as well. So this is a really cool way of doing things. He already gets a drone. He's going to grab an Overlord as well. The Spore Crawler moves over there. Only 1 Queen and 1 Spore there, and he's just going to shift-click the drones. Goes for the Queen. Does take that one out. I would have liked him to shift-click the drones a little faster. But look at that. 6, 7 kills. Oh my god. And an Overlord as well. Dude! Oh my god! Okay. Nice transfuses to keep that Overlord alive. But this is amazing damage for Zest. Oracles come in and add insult to injury. They're going to pick off a lot of these gas drones. Oof. This is huge damage. 11 Corruptors are on the way. 7 drones trying to rebuild. I mean, Solar has a big enough economy. It's not like he dies from this. It just means if he was thinking about doing a Queen Corruptor push, I'd say that's off the table completely. If he goes Queen Corruptor push, it's going to be one of the saddest pushes you've ever seen in your life. Best bet for Solar in this game is, well, first of all, put those drones back to mining. But I think take a 5th base either there or there. Drop an infestation pit and start teching up. He's making roaches, corruptors, lings, and carapace. Not a good sign for the Zerg player. If you're a big fan of his, wait, what's he doing out here? Zest out in the open, no batteries here at all. Very ambitious. Loses a Void Ray there, but gets a few corruptors. So 2 corruptors for a Void Ray. It's not the worst trade of all time. And he's going to make Zealot Archon. Archons, of course, will protect you from any more dives of those corruptors, but 81 drones, no spellcasters, no hive, no second evo, no second spite, no signs of prepping for late game. Solar adds 2 drones. He does add a 5th base. I don't want to see him headbutt. I really don't think a Roach Corruptor headbutt does anything in this game, guys. And don't get me wrong, we've seen it work in situations where I say that, but as the static defense kind of comes down across these bases, as the numbers grow, it's looking pretty good. Where's the Oracles, though? He's lost 1 Oracle, and the other Oracle is not scouting right now. It's very... Oh, big gap in his scouting. He might get surprised by this push. Thank you so much, Snowbase. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Oh, my God. All right, guys. The Corrupted Ravager is here. The Observer doesn't seem to know about it. It's a giant commitment for Solar. He's got an infestation pit, so he's got a transition plan behind it. And right now it feels like Zest is also going for just a big old attack. So the attacks are running into each other. Zest is kind of going... I mean, Zest is so focused on his own timing, he doesn't even give a shit. He's just going to A-move. He feels so confident in his attack timing that he's like, I can A-move into Solar's attack. Even though Solar wants to fight, he's still going to take the fight. Absolute Chad gamer Zest does not want to waste any time, and he just wants to fight right now. He could sandwich this army. He's going to go for it, and he's going for it, guys. Whoa! Damn, this is so bad for Solar. Oh, man, I don't think he can... I mean, what can he do? He's getting overwhelmed. The Corruptors need to focus down those carriers, but the fight, he's already taken so much damage before he even starts that. The prismatically aligned Void Rays do really well. The ground army is all but gone. He's only killed 1 carrier. And this is a devastating, overwhelming victory there for Zest to start this grand finals. A rough start to the series, but we saw he was quite behind after the harassment, right? The Oracles did pretty good, the Adept Oracle, and then he took damage from the carriers, a lot of damage, quite a lot of drones going down, and it was always going to be hard from there. I was saying I really felt like, you know, he needed some sort of powerful, you know, let's tech up to Infestors or something. Would that really have helped him? I don't think so. Up here in the top left, it's Kaisi Gaming Solar. In the bottom right, we've got Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. He looked pretty awesome. And look at that, he checks the gold base. First thing he does here. We're still getting this weird lag, just the first time when I swap to a player's vision in game. There's just like, I can swap now to his vision, it's fine. Solar's vision, fine, there's no lag, you see? You see, I can be moving the camera, it's smooth. It's weird, man. Gas pool, hatch gas pool goes down. Sending 2 probes to the... No! Zest's going Cybercore into Nexus on the gold. Oh, Chad Gamer! Oh my god, guys. Zest is, I mean, people have pointed out that this is right before the World Championship in less than a month. We've got Super Tournament on at the moment in Korea. Zest might not want to give too much away. And hey, perfect time to experiment with fun builds.
Thanks for the Bezos buzz.
That last one was an older build, which he hasn't done in a while. And he just kind of bringing back an out-of-date build and making it work. Good to show that right before a big tournament. He's not really giving away any of his newest tricks. NoobTubes, thanks for the sub there. And Solar goes for the gold base on the 3rd as well. Wow. Solar does see that Nexus. Okay. Oh man, this is going to get so weird so quickly. And that's a very quick 3rd. One more time, guys. We do expect an Overlord to start up in a moment. Yeah, there we go. And Stargate for the full wall off. Zest loves that full wall off. We saw Estrella use this when he was going Nexus first on the gold as well up against Solar. Solar looked pretty good against that, honestly, previous time. And I mean, if there's ever a time to just queen walk through the middle of this map, right? You got a gold base there, that's it. I feel like it's going to be on Zest, really using the Adepts and Oracles early to disrupt Solar, not let him get value out of that gold base. And, I mean, surely you don't... I mean, does he just play Void Rays? There's tempting Overlords hanging around, so you might just play Void Rays first. And indeed, can't resist when there's a juicy Overlord hovering right over your head. Adepts are going to come towards the main. Link speed's still 40 seconds away. He does not know that. But actually, does Zest even know about the gold base? He does not, but he sees no 3rd, and he's got it. He says, "Oh, wait, what the hell?" Goes over here. Drone popping. Adepts say no. That drone just gets eviscerated there. Turn to a fine bloody mist. Oracle coming out after the Void Ray. Void Ray will take down that Overlord. And a 3rd base at 3 minutes 40. Ooh-wee! All right, Zest. I mean, if I've got a gold base, guys, I'm thinking about using that to make mass charge lot. Zest is going to drop a Forge in a moment, and he's thinking about making cannons on this base. Seriously. I think he might go 2nd Stargate first, but he's absolutely just going to use that to build a ton of cannon battery out here. Because he knows he's going to get queen walked. I mean, what else would you do as Solar? Solar's got gold base mining up himself. He's got some good shit going. 2nd Stargate goes down in the main base. And yeah, I really do think that's what we're going to see. He's already building some batteries in case there's a very early queen walk. Oracle's going to go around the right. Forge goes down as well as a 3rd Stargate. He's already got 4 gases. And I think he's going to go straight to 6 gases. Oh man, he's just trying to play this like Omega Greed style. 3 drones go down. Roach Warren's only just started though. I don't know, it kind of feels like Solar's a little behind the curve with this opening. The Nexus getting up on the gold a bit quicker for Zest here. Sorry guys. Income advantage. I thought the Oracle would just pull back. Income advantage massively in Zest's favor. Wow, even peaking at 750 mineral advantage. Now I think that might have been when some drones were getting transferred or something, but still. Do we have Overlords? Yeah, 4 Overlords. He's going to clear about 50 free supply. So we've got 6 Queens that are about to walk through the middle of this map. And Zest, he's starting his cannons just in time. If he can get 3 more cannons up, 4 more cannons up, I think that's really good. He's already building Void Rays 3 at a time. I can't imagine this working, but it's going to get across there really quick. Solar getting ready to move forward. He's going to start marching any moment now. And look at this. He always does this so well. He just denies a cannon. Cannons take 30 seconds to build. If I was Zest, I'd put 2 or 3 down there. And he sees the roaches coming. He knows exactly what he's up against. More cannons need to go down right now. Another cannon, another cannon, another cannon would be beautiful for him. I don't think there's any chance of his natural getting breached. But here we go. He starts these cannons a little bit late. How many Void Rays we got? Only 4. He's got 3 building at a time. Actually, only 2 right now. A little light on the gas. He's trying to warp in some Adepts to help him out here. So he's got 1 cannon up and 4 Void Rays and 4 Adepts. The Adepts trying to come forward to fight this. I think the Void Rays can actually just fight the Queens, to be honest. With the battery overcharge capability, as long as they don't get hit by Biles, they could definitely do that, but he's already taken some big damage. Battery overcharge does go down there. The Void Ray's not healing quite as quickly as he wanted to because that cannon was taking up most of the healing. Void Ray's almost falling. He's up to 7 Void Rays though. There are 10 Queens. If he brings more Queens through the middle, and because they can walk there really fast, there's a highway across this map. But that's 4 cannons! Dude! Okay, 2 cannons go down with only 2 cannons. 3 Zealots though. Oh, those 3 Zealots are just doing so well. That cannon should get Bile down. Indeed it does. The Queens, the Ravagers, the Lings marching forward. It's 4 gate, just Zealot battery here. He's trying to get the mass battery up. The Void Ray is going to hold position on the left side of this fight and try to just clear up some of the Lings and Ravagers. At this point, the Queens are out of transfuse energy, and I think the Void Rays have held, guys. I think the Void Rays have held. 1 Void Ray falls, but a couple of Queens have already started to fall as well. He's going to start dealing with the Zerglings, the Ravagers as well. Zealots continue to warp in, and battery overcharge is going to come off cooldown right now. So he can activate that as well, and just as the battery energy's out, does he realize overcharge is ready again, mate? He might not realize. It's so rare that you get battery overcharge coming back online during the middle of a fight. But look at this, he hasn't lost his probes yet. He hasn't lost those probes just yet. The last Queens are about to fall, and he does lose a Void Ray, almost loses another, but he holds on strong. And look at that, 51 probes to 43 drones. He definitely got a lead here. That's fantastic. Oracle does pull back over there as well. We've got 7 roaches on the way. He's got more roaches building, more Queens. It's just going to be round 2 of the exact same thing, but there's 11 Void Rays. There's just no way. Zest should go double gas right now. He should also take a 4th base. He's actually just recalled probes out of his gold base because he had too many workers there, and he can't transfer them back because of his wall-off. And the Void Rays come forward. Almost lose. Oh, he does lose one. Okay, I mean, he can easily kill these Queens. That's 10 Void Rays. He honestly should just keep building them. He's rebuilding his cannon battery. The Oracle comes in for a stasis trap. Solar somehow notices that. A few Zerglings get cleaned up by the Void Rays over there. Void Rays, 2 more building, +1 range on the way. And if I was Zest, I'd just focus the Queens. That's it. I mean, he's going to try and do it the proper way, focusing the Ravagers down. Takes a little bit more skill to do. Nice battery overcharge there. Great battery overcharge. He doesn't know where those Biles are. They are on that battery in the bottom. And you know what? Queens are using a lot of transfuses to try and keep the Ravagers up, but the Void Ray count has been slightly diminished, but no, 2 more Void Rays have just rallied in actually, so even losing a few of them, it looks like he should be able to hang on here. Remember, this is a desperate 43 drone all in. These 10 Void Rays are still draining all that Queen energy, and there we go, 1 Queen falls, 2 Queens fall, a 3rd Queen about to fall, a Void Ray finally goes down, but if it's 3 Queens for every Void Ray, that'll be good. Another Void Ray falls there. This Void Ray on the right also takes a lot of damage. More and more of these shield batteries are going down. There's 2 more batteries with a bit of energy on them though. Queen's unable to get through that. There's still 5 Queens here. And those Queens still have a few transfuses on them. They're not in any concave anymore though. And these last Ravagers do get focused down. The Lings are finally getting on top of that base. And battery overcharge is funnily enough ready once again. Zest not seeming to notice that. I really think with the triple Stargate, if he kept up Void Ray production, this could have been an easy second hold. As it is, it feels like Solar almost is reigniting hope for himself. You just got to remember, guys, 43 drones. He doesn't have a 4th hatchery. And all he's going to do after this is yet another wave of the exact same thing. I don't know. The fact there's no 4th base does give me a little bit of hope for him. He's trying to build carriers now, is Zest. Cannon and a battery and the natural wall in. 9 Void Rays versus 7 Queens on the map right now. Lair and droning does start. Solar's going to walk one more time, but does he have enough energy on these Queens, guys? He's only got 1 transfuse available. 2. He'll have about 4, 5, maybe 6 transfuses when the fight happens, but against 9 Void Rays, those transfuses will disappear very quickly. 2 more cannons and a battery up. That base has at least got some defense against Ling run bys. Solar's trying to drone and take a 4th hatchery. He's only on 50 workers, though. It's taking him a lot longer to drone up than you'd like. If he droned up, rather than building this section of Roachling, he could be rebuilding the Roachling off 66 drones this time. That would give me a little more hope. Carriers coming out, though, are going to spell doom for a player whose lair's just finished and has only got queens for anti-air. Spire is 100% necessary here. Does Solar realize that, though? Hydroden. He's going to go for Hydroden. I don't think that's going to cut the mustard. Against low numbers of carriers, Hydras are okay, but we've already got a carrier on the field and 3 more in production. Second one popping out now, as well as +2. You don't have any upgrades yet. So I think Hydras, as much as I'd be tempted to go Hydras here as well, because it's kind of a nice one-size-fits-all solution, I don't think it's a solution to this situation. I think he needs to build another 10 drones as well. He's already thinking about building Hydras. Solar wants to stay heavy army. He wants to prepare for another attack timing. He doesn't want to give too much time to Zest. But Zest has all the time in the world. I mean, Zest is already far ahead. It's actually, I think, Solar who maybe should be wanting to slow things down. I guess his goal is to be so all in with the Hydras and just hope there's no Storm or Disruptors that maybe he doesn't ever want to go above 64 drones. He builds 2 more now, but I think the idea for him might be, look, I just need to hit with so many Hydras. I gun down the Interceptors so fast that it's okay. That's how I'm going to win this game, Rick. You're going to have 6, 7, 8 carriers. I'm going to have like 63 Hydralisks. I don't know if he's going to make it there. The Void Ray carrier already marching forward. We've got 9 queens, 15 Hydras, 9 more Hydras on the way. Groove Spine's not quite done. It's a great moment for Zest to fight when his +2 kicks in 30, 40 seconds. That being said, both of these first 2 upgrades for the Hydras will have kicked in by then. Queen's getting focus fired. Transfusers trying to machine gun down. Biles do force those units to reposition a little bit. Oh, the Interceptor count is mostly cleared. Is there enough Queen Hydra to actually kill some stuff afterwards, though? Remember, this is the most obnoxious thing. If you play a Hydras versus Skytoss, they can always just walk away. Oh, you killed the Interceptors? They don't care. They can just stack up, fight you in a corner like that. One of the most frustrating things to deal with is how they can so easily walk away from an engagement. Whereas you as the Hydra Queen player, you are not availed that easy ability to just fly over a cliff, fly over some terrain and get out of there. The carriers, of course, the reason we have that unit count up is the Interceptor count, and that's what you want to keep your eyes on. Interceptors at full load carry 8 Interceptors each, so this should be 48 Interceptors. It's only 18. He's far below half on those Interceptors, which means the damage of the carriers is pretty low at this point. They're at about 50% effectiveness. Hydra Queen is out in the open, though, and it's not that many units, and so he's going to take advantage of it. The Interceptors are gone. This is where the Hydra Queen could maybe kill the Void Rays. Maybe, but he's already lost. Too much Hydra Queen. Solar too far behind the curve, and Zest there going straight for the gold base like an absolute beast. Well played, Zest. All right, guys, he has to win this game to keep himself alive, and he's so good at fighting in this matchup. He does sometimes have a little bit of a simple focus in the matchup. It gets him to finals so consistently, but is it enough against such a beast of an opponent? This is Kaisi Gaming Solar. His opponent in the bottom left, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's I'm going to always block your natural, Mr. Zest. That is actually not blocking the natural. A hatchery could go down here. I'm not sure if Zest is trying to tempt him there or not. We see the hatchery there as well. Going down on that third base. Blackburn's a pretty good map for Queen Walk, even if you do take this third. Probe's just going to go for a little bit of that harassment, see if he can annoy Solar. Already pushes a drone off that patch. And the second drone off that patch. Solar's got to fix that mining up. And there we go, he does just that. Probe being a bit of a cheeky butthead. The Nexus does go down there. Very crisp on about a minute 26 supply. Cybercore will follow that at about a minute 35. That's a nice standard opening for Zest. He's got 15 on minerals, 3 on gas. A sign of him wanting to most likely play a Stargate build once again. He is the king of the Void Ray, and Solar is the one who's got all the pressure on him to stop this build. Right? There's no pressure on Zest to change things up. He's kicking butts right now. He's ripping off nerds' heads, and yeah, he's biting off their heads and spitting them on the ground right now. Don't need to be changing it up when things are going so darned well. Very clean for Mr. Zest. 15 workers on minerals still. Wow. I guess this guy builds the Stargate and then goes back to be the 16th one. Or maybe he goes to the natural, actually. Ah, yeah, he goes to the natural. And as the 16th worker pops out, notice he doubles it up. He pulls it back so it doesn't bounce off the patch. Changes the rally point down there. Real cool details from Zest. Just a very clean opening. He's done it thousands of times. Solar is building many Zerglings. He's got 2 queens on the way. No super quick third hatchery this time around. I think he's saying, screw this. Let's go back to what I'm good at. Take that third hatch right around 32 supply. Start a third queen just before that. Third queen even before the third hatchery. Wow. Very, very fast third queen. Then the third hatch. Then the overlord. And then back to droning. Okay, cool. So very nice play. Solar this way will have link speed a bit earlier. He wants to make sure the Adepts can be shut down and Zest can't get any momentum with his early Adept Oracle. The Adept Oracle's been doing a little bit too much to him. And at this point, rather than saying, oh, change my entire strategy, I think Solar's changing... Solar's thinking to himself, change the details of the early game so I'm not playing from behind every game. That's what's going wrong for me, man. Overlord's trying to get out of there. Does spot those Adepts coming over. He's got 4 Zerglings out, 2 more on the way. Of course, if they can threaten 2 angles at once, that's the dream for those Adepts. And interestingly, he just goes straight home. I think because he saw no quick third base, he knows link speed should be ready. So he's going to play it real conservatively. Oracle comes in. He's looking for units transferring between the bases. Ends up finding the workers on the gas. Gets 2 workers. Oof. Ugh, takes a lot of damage. Third Nexus will go down here just before the 4-minute mark, so well-timed by Zest. Queues up a third Oracle, actually, and that does allow Solar to pick off the probe. Cute moves there, loses 3 links for it, but it's worth it to delay the Nexus, disrupt your opponent's build. Zest very quickly responds by pulling another worker down. And I think Zest, I don't know if that third Oracle was planned or if it's a response to his first Oracle taking so much damage. It could be that he realizes this Oracle will likely die, and he wants to still have at least 2 Oracles on the map to threaten, to pressure his opponent, to do some damage. Double gas behind that. Signs of the 2 Stargate build once more. No sign of changing it up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. On the other hand, Solar, it's 4 minutes 40. He has not dropped an extra gas. That means there is no Queen Walk. We have no Queen Walk, no Queen Walk. Protoss, you've got your way to a macro game. We're going to see a Spire play once again this time out of Solar. So I do think the Spire play is awesome, guys. I also think I prefer Mutas to Corruptors wherever possible, but it does depend on the circumstances. Oh, nice little Adept Shade, but kind of getting themselves surrounded. Bit of an awkward positioning there for Zest. The Oracles are going to go for the Queens. Oh, that's really cute, dude. He's going to try and micro back. Good transfuses. Great Queen control. Loses 1 Queen. Cleans up the Zerglings. Excellent play by Solar. And finally, he's going to shut down one of Zest's openings. Pretty big commitment as well. Gets those Oracles very wounded. Kills one of them. Kills all of those Adepts as well. And that's a great trade for the Zerg player, Solar. He's going to drop a 4th base on the gold. He's going to hold that drone key down. He's going to feel very good about where he stands in this game. Does go out to take that gold now. The Oracle's going to come in. Pick off 2 drones on the gas. Continuing to 4 workers killed now. 2 sentries, and he warps in 2 more. Oh, no. Okay, great force field to stop them getting surrounded. Once the battery's up, he should be okay. Needs some Adepts or Zealots there, though. Does warp in. He had nothing in the wall. Oh, man, if the Lings went for his natural, they would have got in, probably. Maybe there was a probe there. Oh, minivan. Solar says, kids, get in the minivan. We're carpooling. Where are we going, Dad? Where are we going, little Jimmy? Little Bobby? Little Grimace? We're going into the Protoss main. Remember, it's free for all. Kill as many probes as you can. Whoever kills as many probes, who kills the most probes gets an ice cream. Yay! We're going to kill some probes. The Zerglings having absolute fun. This is the same thing as getting taken to the water park as a Zerg player. Oh, your Zerglings are so bloody happy. Sentries going down. They moved out of range of shield batteries up there, guys. That sentry almost died as well. If they just stayed next to the shield battery, they would have been fine. Zest falling apart in this game. And the minivan, unfortunately, did get left parked up on the curb and does get a parking ticket for that one. For illegally parking there. Naughty, naughty. 4th base is up. Solar, 73 workers, can literally do whatever he wants. Right now, he's just making roaches. So it seems like his plan is to move roaches. Okay, yeah, that's a winning plan from here. You're far enough ahead. That'll do it. I'm like, but what tech will he go with his roaches? That's what I'm always thinking, you know. Solar, though, is a connoisseur, and he realizes if I just make roaches and lings right now, I can kill him. He is too far behind. I know he's playing ground. He's only got 1 Oracle. He doesn't have any Void Rays. Easy win. I do like this choice from Zest, second Robo and Robo Bay. Disruptor's a great comeback unit. His first 2 Disruptors will probably pop as this attack hits. And unless he gets the biggest hits of all time, he's just going to be wiped out off the map. There's no real chance for him to catch up. He even panic builds a second Robo Bay, guys. He forgot about the first one. Zest is a bit tilted this game. Thought he was getting that 3-0 grand finals. It's not going to happen. Blinkers there, Ravagers and Roaches. We've got Zerglings going around the north of the map. Oracle's going to come on in. Stasis trap, Solar pulls back. Very well done, good reaction. Guys, he's not started building Disruptors yet because he thinks that's his Robo Bay. You've already got a Robo Bay! These could be Disruptors, Zest! He does realize and cancel it at the very last moment. At least he gets some money back. He's out of gas. He's making sentries. Sentries are not going to keep you alive against that many Ravagers, man. Oh, poor Zest. Yeah, that's just too much Roach Ravager Zergling. The Biles are going to break those force fields. Even though he eats one of his own Biles with a Ravager, it doesn't matter. He does need to focus down the battery overcharge. A little slow to get on top of that. There we go. It does go down. He's just got too much stuff. The Immortals, the Stalkers, all falling. Zealots trying to warp in to hold the line, and Zest has to tap out. Solar! Back in the series. All right, guys, we've got that music going again. Up here in the top left, it's Kaiser Gaming Solar. His opponent Zest in the bottom right. Once again, Zest not a fan of letting the Zerg expand where they'd like to. I think this is as a Zerg, I hate playing against this. But on the other hand, if I'm on Berlingrad or Curious Minds, one of these short maps, I don't mind being forced into taking this hatchery because the creep can get so far forward. It's so easy to queen walk. And I mean, it's Zest. He ain't gonna play Twilight Council. He's gonna play Stargate every game this series. I guarantee you. Cast Curse incoming. He's gonna go Twilight this game probably. But yeah, like I just feel like he's gonna play Stargate every game. And that does kind of give him a forward hatchery to walk from. Of course, it makes it much easier for the Adepts to get in there. Having some nice harassment angles, having some different ways that they can attack and different directions and all that sort of stuff. So it does make a big diff having it, but you know, you've got easier queen walk. Can you defend the early Adepts? Can you defend the early Oracles? It's been a problem for him, and I'd like to see him put a third worker on gas a little bit earlier here. I would have liked to see him pull off minerals for that gas, because I think early link speed to shut down the Adepts is very important, especially on a small map. Zest has got that second gas up a little late here, feels like. Is it though? No, I don't know. That's pretty normal. Pylon was maybe a second or two late. Yeah, I think about 2 seconds late on the Pylon. So you're going to see that Cybercore is going to finish in a moment, and the Pylon, not quite there. Pylon's meant to finish just before the Cybercore finishes. It's about a second delayed on the Adept. It doesn't change too much. And we can see no Warp Gate. Still going to be that Stargate build, same as ever for Zest, but he's been a bit more Oracle focused, more about the early harassment than it is about the Void Rays, early on at least. Double inject, third queen on the way before the third hatchery again. He loves that. Quick third queen, third hatchery, and then an overlord with his next 100 minerals in the main base. Yeah. And you can see, guys, always rallying those overlords out to get a little bit more vision. He's trying to pull this one back. This one's coming in from the side, seeing if he can scout at about the 5-minute mark and see what's up. Thank you, Campo Chest, with 100 biddies. Appreciate the love. Some noxious fumes in the chat. Why do I use YouTube? I like the Wings of Liberty soundtrack. So if you look at the music, guys, you can only pick at a C2. So I think if I'm casting, it just rotates. But I just love the Wings of Liberty, the Terran soundtrack. This one just sounds good. I like it a bit more than the Legacy of the... Even though Legacy and Heart of the Swarm are good, I just prefer this one. Sometimes I used to use in-game a little bit, but... I also like to swap to non-StarCraft music, so that's why I swap between playlists on YouTube usually. Void Ray is going to take out this Overlord. Zest, wake up. There we go. No scout for Solar. It's a bit annoying, man. Oracle comes out after the Void Ray this time around. Now, This does give Solar a much cleaner opening. 2 queens there, queen and a spore. I think this might be the cleanest opening for Solar this whole series, to be honest. It's a little supply blocked. Of course, getting that Overlord caught out, but not too bad. Immediately built more Overlords and does pop out of that. Let's take a look at this main base. Oracle's going to come in. How much damage can it get? Oh, I mean, he gets 3, but he loses the spore. Oh, he doesn't lose it. Queen being on the south side is a bit out of position. His queen should have been up here, and then it would have been killed for that. I still think you're fine with that as the Zerg. If the Oracle basically sacrifices all its life for 2 or 3 drones, and other than that, your build's being good, you don't mind it. Because that Oracle's not really a threat later on, and now the enemy scouting unit, it might die. It's going to be hard for them to scout what you're up to in the next few minutes of this map. It's going to have to just use revelations very cautiously like that. Zerglings see the third base is finished nice and early. That third went down about 345. Robo comes up behind it. Ooh, forge into Robo. Okay. All right. So, 2 Stargate Void Ray, but only 2 Void Rays so far. He's making +1 flyer. 3rd and 4th Void Ray does start up. 2 probe snipes, not bad. Quite a few Zerglings go down though, so it's not like that's free by any means. Definitely the units lost stab in favor of the Protoss player, the way it should be, but look at that, another great pull. I wouldn't mind a Spore Crawler there, because you might get caught without your queens here later on in this game. Now, this is not a queen walk strategy. If he does queen walk, it's going to be much later in the game, about 8 minutes onwards. Overlord speed starts up. 6th gas goes down. 6th gas is a little late. This to me feels like no Spire this game. It actually feels like Solar's going to go Infestation Pit and play some late game maybe. 4th hatchery goes up at a... Yeah, 4th hatchery with a Spore already. I mean, yeah, this is signs of Solar focusing a lot more on his macro this game. Didn't get any more probes, lost 3 more Zerglings. The Void Ray's creating a good ring of vision with the Oracles, making sure he can't really get like Nidus Worm surprised or anything like that. And a Robobay goes down, so Zest wants to play Disruptors. This one looks like it's going to late game, guys. Infestation Pit and Spire both go down. That gives a choice to Solar in which direction he wants to go. If he feels like he can go for a big round of Mutas, and that is very good actually against the Robobay. He's got a Spire. Notice if you've got here, the Overlord kind of blocks it. So that's actually kind of cute. Sometimes you can block it from being noticed. Already up to 8 gases as well. The Infestation Pit's finished. How many queens we got right now? Only 8 queens. He's building a 9th. Hive starts up. Ooh-wee. Heading straight towards those Brood Lords. The Lords of the Brood. Queens coming on forward. Love an Overseer with those. Could kill that Observer, but the Observer does pull back. Oracle comes in and sees a 2nd Evo chamber going down. Big signs of macro. Hasn't seen the 4th base, but he's seen the creep up there. At this point, you got to realize this is looking like a macro game, and indeed, Zest responds accordingly. Carriers, Disruptors, 4th base with a few gateways in front of it. Double Twilight Council. That's got to be a mistake. There's no way you go charge and blink at the same time. That would be so silly. In this situation, that's just so dumb. So Zest doing a lot of kind of panicky double tech structures today. Early lead in this finals, and it's kind of feeling like he's lost steam during that second map and got a little bit distracted. Double Twilight finishes. And when he notices that, he's going to be a little bit chagrined, a little bit annoyed. He's coming forward. Charge does go down, so it's going to be just carriers into charge arc on with the Disruptors on the ground. He's only got 1 ball, though. I'd like to see a few more balls coming out against Queens. That's very important. Viper Ultra! Oh, my God. Okay. So it's Infestor, Queen, Viper, Ultra, Rogue style. All right, man. I think Rogue style is really cool. Oh, big Stasis Trap. That Oracle's still making, really showing it's worth something. Double Evo Chamber, though, with the Carapace. I'd like to see a swap over to melee upgrades. Now you're playing Link Bane Ultra. Bane Speed can be really good for run-bys. That's so fantastic for just rolling into your opponent's static. He could go here and then blow up on that pylon. I think that's probably the best bet. He'll damage some buildings. And he can do some more of that later on. 4 Corruptors already starting. 93 workers for the Zerg. So basically, when you're at this stage, you need a lot of static defense to play late game against carriers, guys. Because otherwise their interceptors are such a pain. You need a lot of just cheap, easy, spammy anti-air damage to just deal with those interceptors. So you're going to see Solar, keep an eye on his drone count. He's going to constantly build drones, build spores, build drones, build spores, because every drone you build a spore crawler with, that drone dies. So if he wants to build 30, 40, 50 spore crawlers as this game goes on, he needs to overbuild drones. If he, say, goes to 80 workers, then builds 20 spores, he's only at 60 drones. He's at a pretty bad economy for this late game. So this is why you're going to see Solar overbuild drones. Some players will even go above 100 workers just for about 30 seconds to a minute. They'll bank a bit more minerals, and then they'll build a lot of spores at once. Solar's trying to do it more steadily, more safely, not having any big weak points. But Zest is the timing attack god, and he ain't going to give him any time. Zealot run by on the right side. The spines aren't quite done. The spines aren't quite done. And the big army on the left. He's got the Warp Prism to drop those big disruptor shots. Could be huge. The spines are going to go down on the right side. Zergling Ultra does react up there. Queen's on the left, but he doesn't have Broodlords yet. He needs those Ultras down here. Time to pull back from here, Solar. Pull back. Keep those Spellcasters alive. 2 Infestors and a Queen getting taken out by the first disruptor shot. That's a very good shot. Zealots did get cleaned up on the right side. This is still a very committed push by Zest. He's got 1 ball left. In the center of the Queens would be fantastic. Just a big old giant headbutt, and it might just be enough. There's not enough Ultras to clear the ground army. The Archons, the carriers, overwhelming. The Archons doing big damage to the Corruptors as well. And Zest just builds to this really clean, big +1 air attack, +1 ground attack. Carrier, Disruptor, Archon charge lot timing attack. It's so hard to deal with. It's so hard to get the right balance of units there. I really feel you need to have Broodlords up, or you need to kind of get on top and just shut that army down with like some fungal and enough Ultras to clear it quickly. But I think a bit too heavy on the Zerglings there for Solar, and Zest ends up winning that. Let's go back to just before that. Remember, he caught him with a lot of drones as well. So just before he goes in, let's look at the units. You can see that there is 30 army supply more. I mean, Solar's not even maxed. Solar's still building all this static and all this tech and these upgrades, right? And Zest's not really investing in that. He's not making Storm. Yes, he's got a 5th base on the way, but you can just see that all this static spread across this bases, it can't be everywhere at once. And as nice as that static is, I think Solar actually went to it too early in the game. It was more important for him in this game, and I especially think the Corruptors are a mistake. I think he just needed to have enough Ultras to overwhelm the ground army, and then Queens, Infestors, Vipers, Microbial Shroud could beat the air army on its own. It could absolutely hold it back. I know 10 Queens doesn't seem great, but you had Microbial Shroud and some Spores and you can do it, right? So just needed a few more Ultras in here, and needed to be just moving over the Disruptors and everything on the ground. The Prism, of course, could pick up and save them, could be annoying. But yeah, he just wasn't maxed. He was just a bit too low on supply. A lot of supply tied up in Queens, which if they're fighting Zealot Archon, the Queens are worthless. You need enough other units to deal with the Zealot Archon, whether that be Broodlords or Ultras. And he just kind of got caught out here, not expecting this timing attack, not prepared for it, and gets completely overwhelmed. So really nice play. The Infestors do absolutely nothing. And just fantastic play there. As the Ultralisks ice skate to their doom, they say, glide, 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 forever together. A bunch of slidey Ultralisks. And, I mean, they do some hits, but there's just a bit too much Protoss, and he's already had his back broken as Solar there. Really good attack there by Zest. GG, well played. He wins the grand finals.